Hey y'all. So my father-in-law sent home some homemade pear preserves and they are amazing. And so my husband said you got to make some homemade biscuits to go with them. So I was going to show y'all how to make homemade biscuits. So I just put a couple cups, probably about 3 of the White Lily self-rising flour. You use White Lily because it's the best. I'm just saying. But I sifted mine. And so now I'm just going to kind of make a little nest in there. And what you want to do is I use shortening. So I'm just going to take, let me wipe my hands off. I'm going to take 2 good little handfuls of shortening. And you just get them in here and you just kind of work them around into your flour a little. And after you do that, then you're going to add your milk. And I normally make mine with buttermilk, but I didn't have any buttermilk. But I had read online that you could take your buttermilk and put just a teaspoon of white vinegar in it, or like a lemon juice, but I didn't have lemon, and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And then that would kind of make it equivalent to buttermilk. I don't know. I might have just totally messed my biscuits up. I don't know. But we're going to see. So we're going to make this little bird's nest here. And we're going to just start pouring in our milk. I don't know that we're going to need all of it, but what you do is just start grabbing from the outside. Just start grabbing and working in. The least amount of time you can work your flour, the better when it comes to biscuits. You don't want it too much. It keeps them from being as fluffy. And then you also want to preheat your oven to 500. I know that sounds like a lot, but Miss Brenda Gant taught me that it makes them have no other choice but to rise. The hotter the oven, they don't cook slow, they cook quick, and they just rise really fast. And that's what you want. You want them to rise, rise, rise. So I don't think we're going to need any more milk. These are feeling pretty good right here. We're going to work them just a little bit more. I think that's about right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and dump it out onto my little thing here, my mat. I couldn't think of what you called that. Sorry, y'all. I'm putting the excess flour I had on here because I think it's going to need it. What you're going to do is just fold them a couple times. And I did just wash my hands for all you haters. I took my rings off, which I never take my rings off. But I got them washed and ready to make some biscuits. I've got my cast iron skillet greased over here. I have a really shallow one that I use to make my biscuits with. It makes the perfect little biscuits. I think this is perfect. We're going to slide this excess flour over. We're going to fold it just maybe 1 or 2 more times. And then we're going to just smoosh it out a little. And we hope that my milk is okay the way I did it. I'm a little nervous. I won't even lie. And I should have just went on with whole milk, but I just like the way the buttermilk tastes in it. So we're just going to flatten them out, try and get them all the same depth all the way across pretty much. I have my little biscuit cutter. I'm going to dip it down into a little bit of the flour just to kind of get it around the edges and it keeps it from sticking. And then I'm just going to go around and cut my biscuits out. So let's get these out. And then we'll start over. See how pretty? We're just going to roll them around the pan here. And I just want to let y'all know I kind of cut them a little too thick. I realized that once I made them, but so now we're just going to push that back together. Try and get it about the same size. We'll cut them again. And then I think we'll just get one more little kind of ball in the middle. We're just going to stick it down in the middle. I wish I'd have made enough for one more. Would have been perfect. But this is what it looks like. You're going to put it in a 500-degree oven. I would say maybe 7 minutes or so. It don't take long. So just watch it. Once it gets golden brown, it's done.